All right, everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. We are going to be talking about Meghan Markle is in tears. She's in tears and she's baffled and she doesn't understand why everyone is just not thinking she's the best thing in the whole world. Yeah. And today we are breaking out the mini violin on this woman because we don't feel sorry for you. And we're going to talk about it. Otis is ready and we're getting ready to talk about it. Let's get into it. All right, so before I break up my little mini violin on this woman and her tears, let's talk about a couple of other things first. So there is this photo, or on the cover of Tatler magazine, there's a portrait of Catherine, Princess of Wales. And when I first looked at this photo with this painting, this woman that did this drawing of Catherine is a black woman. They commissioned her to do this drawing. And I was like, I wasn't feeling it at first. But then I looked at the style of painting. And the painting, I thought it was good. Then afterwards, I thought initially it was like off the mark. I didn't like it at all. But yeah, after looking at it again, it does, I think it looks nice. I think part of the thing that is shocking when you first look at it is it doesn't really look like her. But when you zoom in and you widen the picture to see the face up close, it looks like her, but her face looks a little swollen. And I think that's what I don't really like about it, but I like the style of the painting. It just kind of just slightly doesn't hit the mark of looking like Catherine, but it is a nice drawing in terms of everything else. In terms of the contouring and the proportions, I thought it kind of hits the mark as an artist, her style of painting. Yeah. So that aside, so Catherine is actually has a new project where she is going to honor the Mental Health Awareness Month. And she is she's coming together with the inspirational Sam Stables from We Are Farming Minds, and the brilliant farmer will have a very special film the couple wrote on X, spending a day together on Sam's farm in Hereford. They chatted about mental health in the farming community, finding support in the Duchy of Cornwall's mental health strategy. Catherine, unfortunately, she is not going to actually appear in the film, but she did help to produce the 10-minute movie. And the full release of this film was launched on YouTube, something that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is doing. We can definitely support. So let's get into this story for today. Meghan having been in tears over her release and launch of her product because this girl is so klug. Ugh. It's like we're watching it, folks. Like I've always said, we are watching it. And it's too bad she doesn't see where her life is bringing her now, because we see it. She just doesn't see it. And I think that's what is so interesting about the story with Meghan. So this is the story. This is what's being said. So Meghan is in tears over the unfair criticism of her new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. Yes, so the Duchess unveiled her latest business venture in March, initially intriguing the Sussex Squad fans, with her scant details about the brand, because she was trying to like tease people, like she teased people with the foot of her child when it was born. Like, here's a foot, peekaboo. You know how she does her little peekaboos. In a tantalizing video filmed at her and Prince Harry's Montecito mansion. So Meghan was seen cooking, in the kitchen, strolling around in this opulent family home grounds, just loving the luxuries, just loving the better things of life, getting ready to launch this wonderful brand. Yes, it's lovely. It soon became clear that Meghan would be selling, we know, items including her kitchenwares, her homewares, her oils, her nut butters, her jams, her preserves, her home fragrances, and furnishings. Yeah, she's going to be selling all these little items. I don't understand why she thinks she needs to do this, because it just is like you went from being a duchess doing royal things to selling wares, selling things now. It just doesn't make sense. So the initial excitement surrounding her brand quickly faded with no further information provided by Meghan about her American Riviera orchard would officially launch. She found herself gearing up for a significant PR push to boost her image ahead of the launch. Now, royal expert author Tom Quinn suggests that Meghan would have been deeply upset by the lukewarm response to her American Riviera orchard, particularly in light of the criticism she has faced over her new jam. He also went on to say that the one fly in the ointment is Meghan's new internet brand, American Riviera Orchard. Man, that is a mouthful, isn't it? Meghan was in tears when the brand launched, and her new jam was widely mocked for being expensive and nothing special. Well, duh. Yeah, it's nothing special. It's jam. What, you think people were going to get all in a bunch and just be like so excited and think, you know what? I was wrong about that Meghan girl. She didn't put out a jam. And I think that's a wonderful idea. No. I mean, this is how you know you are so off the mark with your mental capabilities, because you've done all these things that have got you nowhere but selling jam. And now you're wondering why people don't like your jam. Because it's stupid. You don't have a real grasp on reality. And the fact that people don't like you and that they have seen what a nasty, no good for nothing kind of person you are. It's just astounding to me that you just don't get it. As my grandma would say. She has reached the point where she thinks that anything and everything she does will be unfairly criticized. Well, you know what? Now you're starting to get somewhere with your thoughts, because that is exactly right. It is going to be unfairly criticized because you are somebody that people just don't like. No one is going to ever support anything you do, Meghan Markle. Girl, people are not going to support you. Like her husband, she feels that people are unfairly picking on her. She cannot understand why people don't admire her work. Are you serious, Meghan Markle? Are you serious? That's right. People do not like you. They're not going to like anything you put out. And it is going to be criticized, every single thing you do, because you are a nasty, mean person. People can't jive with you and your jams. He claimed that Meghan wasn't prepared for any possible criticism she might face once American Riviera Orchard goes live later this year. She is especially sensitive about any criticism of her luxurious lifestyle in the U.S. From her point of view, this is something to be admired, not criticized. Child, I just don't know what to say. I cannot understand you, Meghan Markle. You do not understand why people do not like you. There's a lot people don't like about you. And until you become a better person, you won't be able to sell anything. And every single thing she attempts to do is going to be criticized and mocked and made fun of. Because I don't know if you all have heard this. Maybe you have. But the one thing they say about sales is usually people are not really buying the product because they're buying it because they may like you, or they may, want to support you, or there's something about you that makes them want to purchase. It's like people are not buying because they don't want to support you. And she's crying. She's in tears, folks. And you know what I have to say about your tears, Meghan Markle? That's what I have to say about you and your tears. Keep crying. Keep crying and trying to get people to sympathize with you, because it will not happen. Do you feel sorry for Meghan Markle and her tears? Do you feel like people are going in too hard on her? Do you think that she is right to be in tears because the criticism is really there? Yeah, I think so. I think you should be very much in tears, Meghan Markle. I hope you cry so much that your eyes swell up and you can't see. Because you act like you can't see with your eyeballs not swollen up. So maybe you need to be crying a little bit more just to kind of get the crust out of your eyeballs on the reality that you thought you were going to have. Because you're not going to have the reality that you thought you were going to have selling some jams. I mean, you're going to continue to be in tears. If you think that having your brand put you in tears at the launch, what do you think is going to happen when she launches the other items of her brand later this year? It's going to be more criticism. It's going to be more backlash. She's never going to get the support that she's going to need to make the money that she needs to make to live this very opulent lifestyle. And I think part of it is she's done so much damage to other people that nobody wants to support her. No one wants to give her the backing to do well because of her behavior. And it just is astonishing to me that you cannot see this, that you don't see your behavior as being the cause of why your brand has failed. I think one thing Meghan could do is she could learn to start listening to the people that know better, because she always wants to criticize people to give them a hard time when they tell her, that's not a good thing what you're doing. The problem is Meghan doesn't want to listen to people. She doesn't want to give people that know what they're talking about their props and do what she is told to do. This is why she couldn't survive in the royal family, because she didn't want to do what was told to her. And now she has all the control. Now she has the control to do all the things that she wants to do, and she's failing. She's going down, and she can't handle it. She thought she was going to get all this praise and support and aligning herself with Princess Diana and trying to make people think she was like Diana. The only thing is, Meghan, you're the complete opposite of everything Diana was about. And people see that. So you're never going to have what you've been craving for. You're going to find that your life is going to spiral even lower. You're never going to get to where you want to be, ever. We can see it by the people not inviting you to certain parties. The launches of other brands like Gwyneth Paltrow. You're not going to get the support that you're going to need to be successful. And I think that's why she's in tears. This is why she's crying, because the realization of the bombing of her brand is hitting her. That it's not going to be what she wants it to be. And this is why Meghan Markle is just going to have to reckon with the downfall that is coming her way. Maybe then she'll start to do things that will not make the royals upset and to start being a better person. But in order to be a better person, she's going to have to start listening to people and following through on things that are going to make her more likable. But I think it's too late. I think it's too late for her. She's already ruined her first introduction to the public, and people kind of see her for what she is, and they'll know that she's just trying to change her ways to make money. And I think it's too late for her. I'm sorry, Meghan Markle, it is too late, because we already started playing our little violin on you, girl, and it's just like we don't feel sorry for you.